videos pop up in her recommended, so she was familiar with who I was talking about. But I followed his like instructions, to part your hair down the center and then again at the high point at the apex of the head to create 4 sections. And I had my mom do the back 2 sections because my hair is like pretty long now. It's longer than it's really been in several years, because I've been coloring my own hair, bleaching and dyeing my own hair since I was like 11 or 12, the first time that I ever dyed my hair. Well, let me get my Topo Chico that I snagged while I was visiting my parents today. I can't find my normal bottle opener, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get this to work. Okay, I'm back. I did not go find my bottle opener. I actually did not even get up or leave the closet. I just did the thing where I have my little service here where you take the lid of the bottle, like the lip of the lid of the bottle, and hook it on the edge of something and then smack your hand. That's what I did, and it worked. Anyway. Cheers. Gonna put this over here just for a second. So anyway, like I was saying, the first time I ever colored my hair, I was like 11 or 12. I was in middle school, 6th grade, and I was in the 99-cent store with my mom. I think my brother was there also, and we found these L'Oreal. I still remember what brand it was. It was a L'Oreal, and it was mousse hair color. It was hair color mousse, and the packaging, it was a bottled mousse, and it was in a box, and the box was orange. It was L'Oreal Paris, and I know that there was like an illustrated woman on it, not a photo of a woman, but just a silhouetted illustration. Not even of a realistic woman. For some reason, it felt like a French illustration to me, probably just because of the name L'Oreal, but she's like slender and tall, silhouetted woman on the packaging. And there was like a bright red and like a plum purple, and I asked my mom if I could get one of them or both of them, like on a whim, because I did not think at all that she would say yes. She really surprised me when she said yes. So those were the first ones that I ever got, and I did the red one first, I remember, because I always had, growing up, I always had long blonde hair, like long blonde hair. I'm just gonna do some hand movements if that's cool with you guys. Okay. So growing up, I always had like a long blonde hair, like long hair, always like down to my leg, not my legs, the end of my back, my butt, and so I always wanted to have like super long hair as a kid. Those like my natural hair color is like a dishwater blonde, like a really, really dirty blonde. That's what my roots were kind of growing out to previously. I thought that my hair had gotten darker, darker over the years. But it was just hard to tell because in the past 11 years, I've never really had my natural roots grow out much longer than they were recently. I've always been dyeing my hair. And when your hair is growing out of the root, you do have that shadow there, so it was kind of hard for me to see the true color of my natural hair. But my car has a sunroof, and usually I leave it open when I drive. And I would notice when the sun would hit my hair, it would still reflect much more of a golden tone. So it was definitely still blonde, even as recently as just earlier today, before I bleached it. It just wasn't really that easy to see. But yeah. So my natural hair color is like a dishwater blonde, like the dirtiest blonde that you could have and still not call it brown hair, just straight up brunette hair. That's basically what my hair color is naturally. So the first time that I ever colored it, I didn't know anything about hair coloring. I didn't do any research. YouTube was a thing back then, but it was still just like in the early days, and I watched like the original YouTube creators at that time. YouTube was big for me back then. It still is. I watch YouTube all day, every day. Not really, but I do watch YouTube in some capacity every day, whether it's like people that I've been watching for years, to the point where it's like you feel like you know the person, and it's almost like comforting or some sort of a habit to watch their uploads. Like I definitely have channels like that. Or, for example, like every Monday through Thursday, it is now, that's his upload schedule. I watch Philip DeFranco. Every weekday that he uploads, I watch his videos to get the news. I've been doing that since like the second year of high school. And I remember he used to upload, I think, every Monday through Friday. And so, like ever since midway through sophomore year, I think is when I found his channel. I've been watching Philip DeFranco every day. And it's like part of my routine. He usually uploads around like 2 to 3 p.m. And so like it's like I'll always, like when I moved out, like I would watch his videos. When I started working full time, my whole routine is like get home from work and then sit down and watch Philip DeFranco's video and like take a break for those like 15 to 20 minutes before I continue on with everything else that needs to be done now that I've returned home. So like Philip DeFranco or like ASMR. I'll generally watch ASMR every day to fall asleep. The only times that I really don't watch ASMR is like either when I'm like too exhausted, like because usually you watch ASMR when you need to fall asleep, and there are fortunate times when I don't need any assistance in falling asleep because I'm either just like too exhausted or just for some reason not having any trouble with it, which is random and rare. Usually if I fall asleep without the assistance of ASMR, it's not necessarily because I was like ready to go to bed. It's usually because of some other reason, like I watched Netflix until my eyes got so fatigued I fell asleep. Some other type of something helped me fall asleep. Or it's like sometimes I'm like too anxious to even watch ASMR, like I'm too antsy to even like lay down. Because in order for ASMR to work, you do have to like at least be still, and there are times when I'm like even having trouble with that. But so like I watch YouTube every day, right? But I mean, even since like 6th grade when I first dyed my hair. But like I said, at that time it was like YouTube was different, and I had Like for me, that was middle school. I had like the most number of friends, and it was like it was a good time. I really enjoyed middle school, and so I wasn't like invisible is what I'm trying to say. In middle school was like I had friends, it was chill. Everybody, even if you weren't like friends, you still were chill. So this is to say that it was apparent when I went from having always my long blonde hair to I used the red one first. I purchased the purple one and the red one, and I used the red one first. And when I put it over my hair, the color that I had, it became orange, like bright orange. And I also chopped my hair to like here. I didn't do the cut myself, but I got it chopped to like here, just all of a sudden. So it was like a big change. My personality really shifted in about 6th grade, and I became much more of like who I am today, or much more similar, at least outwardly facing, like the way that I presented kind of started drafting much more towards the way that I lean today. And so I changed my look like overnight. It was quite the glow up or the glow down, because I was like girly before, and then I started being like emo and I colored my hair all crazy all the time. But I had really cool hair all throughout. I mean, forever since then, not to do my own horn, but I've had fun with it. And it was cool that my mom always had such a good attitude about it, because it was fun for me. And it's like a way to express yourself as a kid, and having that freedom to do that, because it shouldn't be a big deal. Like exactly as she said, it's just hair, you know, but it was so fun to be able to do what I wanted with it and to have like that autonomy, because while it is to me absolutely not a big deal, to some people it really is. Like appearance is a big deal, impressions are a big deal. Whether or not to allow somebody as a child to do that is a big deal to some people. But like the way I've always thought of it, and the way my mom always thought of it, is like it grows back, first of all, and then even if you ruin it, like still it grows back, and it's hair. So like the worst thing that could happen is you literally fry all your hair off, and then you just get to have a little bit of a character building moment as you deal with growing your hair back, and how awkward that is gonna be. But it's not the end of the world. And if it's like too much of a big deal, I'm not trying to minimize how that could be like traumatizing for somebody if they're young and they're being made fun of for that. Like worst comes to worst, you get a hat, you buy a wig, do that for a couple of months until it's pixie cut length, and then you just do that. So like it's not a big deal. So my mom always allowed me to do whatever I wanted to it. So I did the red, and ever since then I've always had unnaturally colored hair, except for a brief stint from age like 21 to like 22, 23, because I got a job that they wouldn't let me have unnaturally colored hair. Mind you, I still had unnaturally colored hair. I would just do things like this, like really white, unnatural blondes, and then I would kind of squeak by doing toners to the point where I had like a slight pastel hue. Like I would do a lot of the silver, like the granny hair. That became such a mainstream trend that for a moment it was acceptable to have silver hair, even though it was not a natural hair color. It became like part of the normal color palette. So I would do that a lot during that period of time when I had that job. Fortunately, that's not an issue where I work now. But purple's my favorite. Purple's my absolute favorite color to dye my hair. Whenever I change it up, I always like end up going back to purple. Purple's my favorite. But I've been doing purple for a year, over a year now. As soon as I got this job that I have currently that allows me to do whatever I want with my hair, I immediately dyed it purple again, and I've been doing it purple ever since. The last time that I had re-dyed it though was a long time ago. I want to say the last time that I dyed my hair was September of 2019. Right? Have I done my hair this year? No, I don't believe since 2020 began that I have dyed my hair. I'm pretty sure the last time I dyed my hair was September of last year. Yeah. If you watch my first video, my first ever video on this channel, it's really cringe, you should, it's great. I was wearing a onesie. I thought I was gonna try to make that like my brand, since I have to record in my closet. I was trying to compensate somehow, basically, and come up with like a brand, and so I was gonna do like onesies, but as you can clearly tell, it's way too hot in here to be wearing onesies all the time in my videos. I love how I'm so pale that I turn pink very easily, so I feel that when I go really on either end of the spectrum, light versus dark, so when I have blonde hair or when I have black hair, I feel like it becomes much more obvious, the redness that's very easily triggered in my face. And so I feel like if I want to like go out, or if I'm like trying to serve a look or whatever, then it almost does require makeup, because it can look a bit extreme, because it just makes the redness look redder. So if I am trying to serve a look, I'll generally wear makeup, or be more inclined to wear makeup when I have hair that is either blonde or black, versus any mixture or selection of random color of any hue in between. So, but I love that. I dyed it, or bleached it rather, knowing that, and I've done it when it is the hottest, so that I'll always be recording with like a red sweaty face, but that's cool. That's fine. But anyway, in my first video, you can see that my hair was like normal blonde, like an actual natural looking blonde that I'd had done. It was like the only time that I've ever had my hair professionally dyed. It was when I had gotten that position that required me to have natural colored hair. I switched it to like a natural blonde for a second before I started kind of testing the waters again. That's the only time since 6th grade that anybody aside from myself has dyed my hair. I always have other people cut it, but I think I'm gonna cut it myself this time. Brad Mondo, clearly I watch your videos because my hair is like kind of blonde right now. I mean, it's not perfect. It's definitely kind of fried on the ends, but it looks decent enough. There's no hot roots, you know, there's no crazy banding or anything like that, and it didn't snap off. So, thanks Brad Mondo for your guidance. I have evolved since the 6th grade. I now YouTube these things, and I have watched your video on cutting hair, and I think I'm gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna use a straight razor because I shave with a straight razor. TMI, when I shave, I don't shave during quarantine, too fucking last haircut was. So the ends of my hair were already really ratty, and I was like, that's fine, I'll just bleach it, and then I'll cut off as much as I have to after that. I mean, the ends of my hair are definitely like very split ends on the ends of my hair. That we can clean those up. We can just give me a good trim. Just trim those right on up, and then we'll be all set. But yeah, the ends are definitely even scragglier now. Now that I have put bleach all through it. But I don't, like I said, it's hair. I don't really care that much. But I might cut it myself, and I'll let you know how that goes. I kind of wanted to bleach it on camera, just for the meme, you know, like, even to just attempt to do one of those, like, quarantine meltdown makeover videos, bleaching my hair, ASMR, in the ASMR closet, like, I did think through the logistics of it. I seriously sat in here one day with a mirror and tried to see if I could set it up some way where that would even be feasible, but it was absolutely not. But I thought about it. But I also did kind of want it to turn out decently, so I had my mom help me with the back of it. But it was so funny to me that she was familiar with Brad's videos. I guess he's popped up in her recommendeds before, and she's watched his like reaction videos, which I love. I think that's great. I also love his videos. I used cream lightener today for the first time. I've always used powder lightener, and I'm pretty sure he said in his videos he prefers cream lightener, or I made that up, but I want to say that's where I got somebody's opinion that cream lightener is better. It so is. Oh my gosh, it was such a better experience working with cream lightener. Oh my goodness. And I use 30 volume developer, like Brad says too. I normally would only use 20 volume developer in the past, and in the past I've never gotten results this even. After just one process, I only bleached my hair one time. Once. And then I toned it. So 30 volume is like the way to go apparently, so I learned from watching Brad's videos. And if he sees this blonde mop of mine, I hope that he thinks that I did a good job. I don't have the editing skills to put a before and after side by side, but I think I did okay. And yeah, I just kind of basically wanted to do like a whisper ramble today, but I figured I would address the change in hair. No, it's not a wig. Yes, this is what we're working with now on the channel. This is AuntieQ ASMR now. Oh, by the way, this piercing is also real. I just don't very often wear it, but it is real. I've had my septum pierced for like, oh my god, has it been 6 years? Either 5 or 6, Jesus. Wow. I feel really old now. It feels like this was yesterday. I was living in the last of 3 places that I lived when I lived in Escondido in California. I don't live there anymore. But when I first moved out, that's the city that I moved to. And I had 3. Okay, I had 3 apartments there, and I had roommates in each one of them. And oh my gosh, at the last one that I lived in, we were right around the corner piercings over the years that I've both kept and not kept. This is one of the ones that I've kept. And he doesn't work there anymore, which is a bummer. But I do still go back to the same shop to get my piercings done. They've moved locations, but I figure like I just know the people there, so I'll keep going. I could absolutely find a place closer, and I probably should because it's kind of a pain. But how often does one get piercings anyway? Where was I going with that? Oh, and there was also a really nice antique shop that I'll definitely be talking about in more of my antique oddities videos, because I have a bunch of stuff from this place, including the desk that I took a panel out of that I use as a surface for recording these videos. I also got at that antique and thrift store. I adore it. The furniture piece that I'm staring at in front of me right now, I also got there. But one day I was bored and I was living with my partner, and my partner was like at work or something, and I went and got my septum pierced because I felt like it. And yeah, I just remember him coming home and he was like, "Is that real?" I was like, "Yeah, I got this done today." That felt like such a short time ago, but it's really not. It's been like 5 or 6 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I was gonna do like a roleplay video, but I figured I would address the change in appearance first. And I also need to mention that I've never watched Game of Thrones because ever since that show became a thing, every time I bleach my hair super, super blonde, they tell me that I look like the chick from that show, and they usually look really excited, like they've met somebody who is into the thing that they're into, and I'm not. I've tried to watch Game of Thrones. I can't get into it. I don't like I just don't like fantasy genre stuff. I think I've talked about this on my channel before. Like, I'll watch sci-fi all day, every day, but as soon as you start going about like fantasy, dragons, and that kind of stuff, I don't know. I'm not imaginative enough. I don't get like into it the way that I do with other stuff. It's not that it's not good or that I don't see why it could be good. I just honestly am not that imaginative, and I don't really like get into the story very much, so I don't enjoy it. The only reason why I say that was my hip cracking. The only reason why I even bring that up is because I know that somebody's gonna see this and they're gonna think like, oh, now you should do like a Game of Thrones roleplay or like a Mother of Dragons roleplay, and like maybe I could try to research enough of the character to do that, but I feel like it would just be disingenuous because I'm not into it, so that's likely never gonna happen. Sorry guys. But I mean, if that's what you guys want and nobody has a problem with me being fake as hell and just googling enough stuff to make the video, even though I don't watch the show, like, I'll do it. But I know that that would kind of bug me if I were a member of the fan base and I saw somebody who wasn't even into it trying to pull it off. Like, that would bug me, so I wouldn't be inclined to do that. But I do want to have my next video be a roleplay video. I think we're gonna do like a personal attention roleplay with some positive affirmations, maybe like some face tracing. I was thinking about either doing like, because I've been going on a lot of hikes lately, I feel like hikes have been good for my mental health, and it's just good to get out during this time of social distancing, because on a hike you still can social distance. It definitely depends on the place that you go. I go on hikes where I know I'm pretty much not going to run into anybody, but even if there are other people hiking, like, the outdoors, you can still give them some space. So that's been helping me a lot, because I know that I've been feeling it, man. I've been kind of struggling with my mood and my energy and motivation and demeanor and just general desire to continue on with the monotony of the day-to-day. So I kind of want to make a video, kind of just like a personal attention, like a warm friend helps you unwind, I think is what I titled it, the last roleplay that I did. We can kind of just like sit down, do some like positive affirmations, some relaxing stuff, and then I was thinking like maybe we could like get ready for a hike together. I could like pack my fanny pack, because maybe that would give me a chance to like tap on things, you know. I could pack like protein bars, and I could like crinkle the wrappers, put them in the fanny pack, you know, pack my keys, and then you'd have like that jingling sound, pack your phone and tap on the item, though I record with my phone, so I don't really know how that would work, but something like that, I don't know. But I want my next video to be a roleplay video, so I will think about how we're gonna do that and try to put some good thought into it so it'll end up being a decent video. How does that sound? Shoot for effort, I guess we could call it. Well, this was fun though. This was a fun trip down memory lane with you guys. Kind of going over my story of my hair evolution, because I don't know if I've ever shared that on this channel before. Clearly you guys knew that I would be the type to dye my hair, because my hair was purple, but it was very, very faded purple, so I don't know if you guys realized that this is like a thing that I've been kind of doing, is like a major facet of my personality since I was like 11 years old, and now I'm 24, like, yeah. But it was fun to get back into it today. It was definitely kind of an undertaking, so thank you. Shout out to my mom for her help, shout out to Brad Mondo, and for my mom for knowing Brad Mondo. We got through it. If I do end up trimming my hair, my dead ends, my little scragglies, they don't look as bad as they did a couple of minutes ago. My hair was still wet a couple of minutes ago, and your hair always looks more stringy and scraggly when it's wet. It's still like ever so slightly damp to the touch in the back and on the ends, but it is much drier than it was a moment ago, and it already looks a lot better. Don't get me wrong, it definitely feels still very much, you know, like the integrity of the hair has been compromised from the bleach. Like, I'm not at all saying that my hair didn't get damaged. let's get that straight, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it would be, and if I end up cutting it myself, I will let you know how it goes. But I just kind of wanted to put this out there, like a nice little whisper ramble, and get you guys up to date on the new look, and I guess we ended up taking a little trip down memory lane. Tales of hair color and piercings. I don't know if we'll really keep the septum in today. I was just kind of like feeling out the new hair situation. I feel like after you finish changing your hair, you always have to do something, like some little finishing touch before you know for sure if you like it. For me, it's usually putting makeup on, but I didn't feel like putting makeup on today, so all I did was I gelled up my, I need to stop doing that. All I did was I gelled up my eyebrows. I gelled up my eyebrows, my bushy eyebrows, which are naturally black, even though my hair is naturally blonde, dark blonde. what I was saying. But anyway, just taking a quick second to catch you guys up on the hair. This is what we have now. This is AuntieQ for the next however long. I actually was bleaching it so that I could dye it a pastel color, so stay tuned for that as well. I'm gonna keep it blonde for a while, just because like okay, I'm not a stylist, and if Brad Mondo does watch this video, which he definitely won't, he's not searching the ASMR community for his react videos, but like if he did watch it, like he would definitely be pointing out damage in my hair. Like, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, and it's not the most even, but I feel like the parts that aren't perfectly even don't necessarily look uneven. They kind of just look like dimension, or at least that is what I am telling myself. It's what it looks like. That's what I'm telling myself. It's what it looks like. It's dimension. It's not unevenness. It's dimension. But no, I really do think it looks good, and I was surprised by how little effort it took, quite frankly, so I'm pleased, and I'm going to keep it for at least a bit, and then change it to the pastel, so stay tuned. Oh, I remember why I started talking about my eyebrows, because I was saying that normally when I change my hair, there needs to be like a finishing touch before I can decide if I like it or not. Like, the pieces have to be put together, and normally it's putting on makeup, but I didn't feel like putting on makeup, so I just gelled up my eyebrows and tried to cover my breakouts. Down here, there's two of them. I put a little bit of concealer on, and I set it with a brush that has a little bit of blush left over on it, so that it looked more skin-like, but I think you can still tell that I put down some pigment here. And then I put in my septum ring in place of the rest of my makeup because it's too dang hot, but I needed to see it with something before I decided if I liked it, and I wanted to roll with it for a bit, and I do. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna roll with it for a bit, guys, and that was basically the point of this 45-minute long whisper ramble. I felt like I needed to be addressed though before I did like another roleplay video, because then you'd be like, did the production value of her videos just jump way up? Like, why is she investing in wigs for her character roleplays when she's still recording in a closet? Like, I feel like that would raise some eyebrows, so it is my hair, it's not a wig, and this is it now, at least for a little while, so let me know in the comments down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it distracting? Is this not the AuntieQ that you've grown to know? Do I need to change it immediately? Are you into the pastel idea? What color pastel should I do? I don't want to tell you which one I bought. It'll be a surprise if I end up using it. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm pleased that I was able to record this evening for almost a whole hour with really no disruptions. There still has been some chaos and sirens at night in my city and stuff. It's been quite loud the past couple of evenings, but tonight I had crossed my fingers and held out hope that it would be a good night to record. And the vibes were immaculate all evening long, just hanging out at my family's house, seeing the dogs, working on my hair. So I felt like it was gonna work out, so I sat down to record. A little bit after I got home, I waited till 1 in the morning, and then I started was not a 10 out of 10. I hope that tomorrow is a 10 out of 10, and I hope this video helps you get some knockout killer sleep to help with that endeavor. Okay, so, right, please like and subscribe. Like, and subscribe. Thank you so much to every single one of you who already has. That's the other thing that I wanted to say in this video before I go. Yesterday, we reached over 200 subscribers. I think right now I'm sitting at like 215. What? We reached over 200 subscribers and on the same day, on the very same day, we reached over 500 lifetime watch time hours on my channel. So people have spent a total of over 500 hours watching my videos, and out of all the people who spent some time watching, over 200 of them decided to stick around and they subscribed. That's freaking crazy. What? Like, and I've been uploading consistently for like a month or two. Like, I started this channel like a while ago, and then I really kind of hit my groove, and like I kind of touched on earlier in this video, like I had a whole other idea for how I wanted to record. I was trying to like compensate for being recording in a closet, but now I've kind of like accepted that, and it's kind of part of my thing. It's all part of my charm, and I'm just kind of vibing with it, trying to roll with it, and be consistent with my uploads for as much as the sound and the surroundings will allow. And I'm enjoying this so much. I'm enjoying interacting with you guys so much. You're all so sweet and supportive. Maru, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Always posting my videos r/ASMR. You're literally the reason why I saw the spike yesterday in my subscriber count and in my watch time hours. Like, you're the best. I can't even figure out how the r/ASMR subreddit works. I'm still